end, I'll edit all of that out, so it won't be too much of a problem for viewing, hopefully. But yeah, kind of sucks that it deleted that, but whatever. But yeah, I guess let's go ahead and get into it. So with Mega Man, you've got your ground movement options, which I'll go over here. So you've got your dash, your walk, and you can walk a bit slower as well. And then you've got down tilt as well as a movement option. So yeah, I guess forward tilt. Forward tilt and leaf light. I'll count them as well. Yeah, guess let's get into it. So, with your dash, pretty like average dash, I would say. It's mainly just used to retreat rather than approach. As Mega Man's not too much of a character that's going to be approaching, as obviously with so many projectiles, most of the time you're just going to be zoning and backing away from someone and accidentally doing back air whenever you're backing away from someone like that. But yeah, with your dash, that's what you're going to be doing, is just foxtrotting back. You can also just dash back like this, and maybe even foxtrot, dash into foxtrot, or just, sorry, just some kind of mix-up. But it is important to be mixing up which option you choose, as someone could follow you. And sorry if the music's a bit quiet, I just realized that I still have that turned down a bit from the Dragon Quest stream, so let me turn that back up some. So, yeah, got that. Let me make sure, okay. Yeah, you've got your dash and your foxtrots, and then you've just got your regular walk. If you walk slowly, you'll kind of like stutter walk, which I find kind of strange, and then you also have like a bit of a pause in between every stutter. Like you'll have like just two movements and then a bit of a pause, so maybe you can walk slowly as a walk slowly and then walk faster as well. The advantage to walking around like this is that you can forward tilt while you're walking, and forward tilt gives you the option to short hop in air. Like you can do forward tilt into short hop in air, although I won't be able to hit this combo for some reason. Gets kind of harder to do on Mario. There we go. So, as you can see, and that can allow you to get a bit of space away from Mario whenever you're trying to zone. So if someone gets in, you can just forward tilt into short hop forward air them, and they'll be able to back away from you. We've also got down tilt, which is an option that a lot of characters don't have, is down tilt that moves them forward and backwards. This just allows you to be lower to the ground. It will instantly make you crouch as soon as the down tilt is over. Like I can let go of it and I'll crouch afterwards. Unless you do down tilt into down tilt or down tilt into another move. It kind of starts a crouch animation if you do another move though, like that short hop there that I'm buffering. You can kind of see the crouch animation end as soon as he's up. So yeah, that's something that you need to be aware of, is that you'll kind of pause for a second as soon as the down tilt's over. You're stuck in the animation though as soon as you initiate it as well, so that's another issue with this move. But it will bring you a bit lower, so you can dodge some projectiles, like an arrow from Pit or Dark Pit, for example, might go above your head. Same thing for if you just crouch regularly. But another option it has is to be used to retreat while still doing some damage in case someone tries to cross you up and just down tilt and then hit them from behind. But yeah, and then you've got your metal, or not your metal blade, but your leaf shield. Kind of already went over forward tilt, as you can just shoot while walking. You can turn around during forward tilt as well, but it's not too useful if you turn around. It's mainly just useful for walking forward and then getting like forward tilt into up tilt if you're trying to get a jab lock on someone. With Mega Man, it's more of a forward tilt lock, but for other characters, it's jab. Although not for everyone. And then you have to be right next to someone for that to work, so that's why I'm messing it up a lot, because I'm not spacing it properly. But yeah, with Leaf Shield, you can walk around during it, as long as you're holding down B. You can like dash during it, you can walk, you can foxtrot. You can do any movement option that you have regularly. You can even like crouch and jump as well, as long as you're holding down B, but as soon as it goes, then it kind of has a bit of an animation where it goes, and you can't really do anything during that. But as soon as that's over, you can even do another leaf shield if you wanted to. Disadvantages of this is that you can't really perform any other action while you have leaf shield active. If you try to perform another action, it will instantly throw a leaf shield. And so yeah, you can kind of see the issues with that. Like, you can't shield to protect yourself. All you can do is just run and jump. And then another issue is that little pause that it does afterwards could lead you to getting hit by a combo if you're playing against a character like Pikachu. And get in after that and then get a combo started. For aerial movement options, you've got just your single, jump, and short hop, which you can use to fire pellets if you buffer out a short hop, or not buffer out a short hop, but if you just regularly short hop just by tapping A or tapping, or not A, but X and Y at the same time, or just slightly tapping Y really quickly, releasing it afterwards, then you will do a short hop. I'm much better just hitting X and Y at the same time. But you can also hit X and A in this game, and that will automatically do a short hop. The issue with this short hop is that it only shoots at one angle, which is, as you can see, this one pellet goes at the same spot like every time, unless I'm firing multiple pellets. Then obviously we'll fire multiple, but most of the time it's just going to be that one area-ish that is going to shoot if you just tap X and A at the same time. Whereas with your short hop, you can kind of mix it up a bit. You can get it at the maximum height of your jump as well. Or if you're a short hop, I mean not your jump. If you short hop it and then neutral air. But yeah, if you just full hop, you can shoot a bit higher, and you can get a few different angles that you wouldn't normally be able to get with short hop with your pellets. And then obviously the same thing with your double jump. You can also jump into Rush Coil, and you will still be able to perform an action. You can jump into Rush Coil into another jump as well, and still perform an action. So you have a few options that I don't think any character can actually do that kind of a movement like Mega Man, where you can jump up special and then perform another action, except maybe Banjo, if I had to guess. So before he was added in, no one else could do that. So yeah, you have a lot. That allows you to have a lot of like mix-up off stage as well, because that means that you can up B into a short hop rather than short hop and then up B as the most optimal version of it. So make sure that whenever you're off stage, most of the time you want to be going for up special instead of jump, as with jump gone, obviously you only have one jump, whereas with up special, you can up special multiple times. So it's kind of the same thing with a lot of characters, but with Mega Man, it's pretty reliable, as you can still jump out of your up B, whereas with a lot of other characters, it's kind of a bit more risky to do, as they don't have that option. Like, you can jump or you can air dodge as well, which not every character has the ability to do so. But I'll go more into recovering and things like that whenever I go over advantage and disadvantage in the next tutorial video thing. So, yeah. For now, you also have Metal Blade that you can be reverse, or you can just throw it regularly to mix up your movement. You can also kind of do it with side specials you see there, but Metal Blade, it looks kind of cooler in my opinion, and it's a bit safer to do, as well as Metal Blade isn't as committing as something like side special. Side special is a bit more in lag, so you might be able to be punished for doing it. Although with Metal Blade, it's a bit harder to get the B reverse to happen. You have to hit B and then immediately flip the stick. Although in Mega Man's case, that's not too bad, as you can throw the Metal Blade behind you. Whereas with a character like Mario, if you were doing this with his Fireball, then nothing would really happen. You would just Fireball and then slowly move backwards. Whereas with Mega Man, you at least have the option to be able to throw that behind you and still get about the same movement. The only difference is whenever you B reverse it, this is if you're already moving. As you can see, you'll kind of like float in the air for a second, and then you'll start moving normally, so that could allow you to have a bit of mix-up in your movement. But obviously it's not as much as your other moves, so yeah. And then I also forgot to mention that you can jump, up B, jump, air dodge, and then still be able to perform an action. It'll have a bit of lag if you do a directional air dodge rather than a neutral air dodge. So yeah, that will cover about every movement option that Mega Man has. So I guess one more bit about movement. So with neutral air, if you're firing a neutral air, you can move backwards and forwards while still in the animation, but you cannot perform a move while you're firing the pellets outside of just the pellets themselves. Like, you can even do pellets into different pellet moves, but you can't really, like, stop doing pellets into a leaf shield, for example. You kind of have to let a bit of lag happen, and then you can start doing the leaf shield. Whereas, I guess in the previous updates, I didn't really play Mega Man much then, but you were able to kind of cancel the pellets into a few things, whereas now you have to wait for all 3 of the pellets to be fired if you want to be able to act quickly. And then if you just fire 1 or 2, you kind of have to wait for a second there, as you can see. Kind of have to, it's not much, but it allows things like Leaf Shield to be a bit more difficult to perform, as that's a bit more laggier due to the startup of the move, whereas something like a jump it's a bit less noticeable. So yeah, now in spacing, so with spacing, you just want to try to keep your distance at pretty much all times as Mega Man, as you are a zoner, so spacing is important. Getting chip damage with the pellets is pretty much all you can do from a distance, really, unless you like throw a metal blade, then you might be able to do a bit more damage and hit stun, but yeah, it's not too much. And then, in case you didn't know, if you throw the metal blade down on top of some opponents, it's a bit more effective than if you just throw it on them regularly. And same thing with like Z-dropping it, as that will allow it to get multiple hits on them the slower that it travels. Like, the less hit stun that you cause per second, that kind of equates to getting out more damage. And that can also allow you to combo off of it as well. Like the Metal Blade, you have a lot of combos that you can do if you Z-drop it on someone. But for characters like Ridley, you might be able to get in a few more hits of the Metal Blade itself during it passing through Ridley, as opposed to someone like Mario, as they're taller. And then they're also a bit wider as well than Mario. Mario's kind of a smaller character, he's about a middle size, so Metal Blade hits him about 2 times from any direction. Whereas with Ridley, it might hit them 3 to 4 times, depending on the type of Metal Blade that's being thrown, and the angle and everything. So, yeah, back to spacing. So, if you're firing the pellets, you can approach while still firing pellets. You can even, like, neutral air, forward tilt, neutral air. One thing I like to do if people get in is to do forward tilt into neutral air. I'm a bit more consistent outside of Mario, as Mario's going to kind of be standing still here. If someone's reacting to the pellets, it's a bit easier to neutral air them, I find, out of that combo. But yeah, if you land a neutral air on them, they get knocked pretty far away. Like, I was about here-ish, and now Mario's at about 6 spots away from where Mega Man is, just after being hit by neutral air. So that can allow you to be able to space away from your opponents pretty easily. You do have other options as well, like, if they get in, I mean, you have Leaf Shield, you have all of your smashes pretty much except for, like, forward smash. Forward smash, you don't really want to use that right next to someone. Obviously, if you use it closer to someone, they will have less time to be able to reflect it, but the issue is that you'll still be charging it up, potentially, so they might be able to approach you. So, if they don't have a reflector, it might be a bit better to space them. But if you're too far spaced and they have a reflector, then they might be able to reflect it, and then you might be hit by the forward smash. So, you have to watch out for that. Just make sure that whenever you are spacing and someone approaches you, that you don't throw the same escape option out twice, as that will start to get you red. Or, I mean, I guess you can throw it out twice, but just don't throw it out so much that your opponent is able to tell that you're gonna shield every time that they get in. So now they can grab you and then potentially get a grab combo on you, or get a kill throw. Something like that. You might want to try to mix that up. Like maybe mix in a few spot dodges in, or jumps out of shield into like neutral air dodge, or jump into downward air dodge into up tilt. So that way you can punish them for trying to grab you. Just stuff like that can allow you to mix up your defensive options, and that's pretty important, as if someone reads your defensive options, then it starts getting worse from there, as you'll pretty much be entered into automatic disadvantage as Mega Man if someone reads your defensive option. Whereas with a few other characters, they might have a bit more weight to them. Like, Mega Man's heavy, and all, but he's not as heavy as a character like Incineroar or King K. Rool. I guess I should use King K. Rool first, because I'm not actually sure Incineroar is heavier than Mega Man, but King K. Rool is the second heaviest character in the game, so seeing as Mega Man's not the heaviest, he's obviously heavier. He might be able to stay out of disadvantage for a bit longer than Mega Man, but Mega Man still has it a bit better than others, and his disadvantage is a bit stronger than others as well, which I'll be covering that more in the next week video. So, yeah, I'm just going to be ending this stream for now. It's been about 60 minutes, so the stream was actually a bit longer than the last one, so I should be able to end it, and hopefully it doesn't get deleted like last time, and I can upload it tomorrow. So, yeah, I guess I hope to see everyone in the next stream, which will be on Saturday, I think. I might be able to stream Friday night, but I doubt it, as I have to wake up pretty early Saturday, so it'll probably be about Saturday, so I guess I hope to see everyone then.